Hi guys, CTG asked me to make a list, my list of the 10 prestiges that I think, 10 co-op prestiges that I think deserve a buff, and he is asking that of people, and then he will make a video uh, compilation of the community's top 10 prestiges. So I'm gonna link his channel so you can watch the video when it's done. I don't know exactly when it will be. And also wanna link his Discord thread so you can go there and comment, leave your opinion on this matter if you want. And in the meantime, this video I'll tell my list here. I'm gonna explain why do I think the certain prestiges need buff and how would I change them, buff or rework. Okay, so first of all, we have the thing that most people agree is the most useless prestige in the game, and that is Plague Warden. So advantages: Banshees can load up to 16 infested infantry and can launch their cargo at a ground target. And disadvantages: infested civilians have 30% reduced timed life. Okay, so this is, I think, intended. You cannot see it here, but you can see it on in the tooltip that Banshees, when they release the infested civilians, they do 20 damage on impact each infested civilian. So, but the thing is, how is it intended? You should do this and then repeat. Like, for example, release it on the train on Oblivion Express, and then pick up those units again, and then release it again. So you would have to do pretty fast micro. You would have to have micro probably like Clem or Maru to actually repeat this fast enough to deal more damage than if you would just release them the first time and then let them do damage on their own. And also Banshees also have some idle time while they do this. So and the Banshees are not kind of Stuka's Banshees is nothing special actually. And also how I would change this is I would make this because you already have one mech prestige, one bio. So this how we change this is to when Banshees load up to 16 infested infantry, they would convert those units into the volatile infested the same way as the siege tanks do it. So that would be more useful. And also I would maybe buff the Banshees by giving them either a tactical jump or deep tunnel. I mean, they could because they can burrow, so they burrow them, then deep tunnel, and then unburrow them there when they deep tunnel. That could be kind of pretty good, I think. Certainly more useful than if you would than if you use it like this, because this is pretty useless. Okay, so second prestige would be the limitless. So limitless, I mean, you can go for leviathans, but okay, let me read first. The number of ultimate evolutions is no longer limited to 3, so you can have well, not unlimited because they're still limited to supply wise, so you can have, technically you can have to 50 of them. And disadvantages: ultimate evolutions require 200 biomass. Biomass is less powerful, of course. Biomass is less powerful. They had to nerf it because if not so, if biomass would remain the same, then you could just deactivate the auto cast so to never turn into the ultimate evolutions, and then you would have a like Essence Hoarder on steroids. Like unit with 200 biomass would be like practically unkillable. Imagine Mutalisk with like 8 times more health, like quadruple the attack damage and the life leech and so on. I mean, that would be ridiculous. So yeah, this is strong late game. When you have like 10 plus Brutalisk, you can like deep tunnel every 10 seconds. You can kill even the hardest late wave, late game waves, and yeah, but early game kinda sucks, and also the thing is that how I like to play it. I first get a roach, of course, because it's the cheaper option. Then when I get first brutalisk, I then just mass queens because queens can heal existing brutalisk until they can become brutalists themselves. So although this is the cheap way of playing because you just spend money on queens, so even on one base you will kind of float probably float some resources, so you can get you can make Niduses to get queens around the maps. But thing is, Nidus is it's still kind of slow, and also if you more of them near fight, Niduses are actually highest priority targets. So enemy units instantly kill Nidus before he can even finish. So what I would do this is to actually extend the deep tunnel ability, and not the deep tunnel that Swarm hosts have, and that Ravager also get in Tunnel in Horror Prestige. I would give them extend the Brutalist Deep Tunnel, so they can deep tunnel every 10 seconds like Brutalist, so they can keep up with them and collect biomass instantly whenever Brutalist kills something somewhere. The Queens could instantly collect this biomass and also heal the Brutalist all the time. This would make this Prestige a lot better. Okay, so next one, I've made a list, so let me remind myself. Tactical Dispatcher. Okay, so we have Tactical Dispatcher. Tactical airlift cooldown reduced by 75%, and disadvantages Griffin airstrike cooldown increased by 300%. But Nova has two really good Prestige Soldier of Fortune and Infiltration Specialist, so this is not used a lot. And what I would how I would make this prestige a lot more attractive is I would remove completely tactical airlift cooldown because it's still not free. Like tactical airlift costs 200 minerals. So and then disadvantage could either stay like this, or I would actually even remove Griffin airstrike. So instead of using your minerals on Griffin airstrikes, you would use it on tactical airlift, so you could do all things with an army. I think this would be a really good way of playing and would make this prestige a lot more attractive. Okay. Then we have Galactic Gun Runners. Okay, Galactic Gun Runners is bombing platforms are no longer capped, and bombing platforms cost 100% more. Now, as it is, don't use this prestige on Dead of Night because you need more time. You can have more platforms, but they cost 200% more, so you need more time to build them. And if you play properly, if you're fast enough, then with Chaotic Power Couple you can clear map relatively fast. So it kind of evens up, like the speed you can clear the map, and the fact that Chaotic Power Couple has better mag mines and better mirrors units, then it's always better choice on Dead of Night. But this, as it is a good prestige on Rifts to Korhal, because you can camp at home if you have mutators that it makes you difficult to push, like going nuclear, lava burst, and similar things. You can always camp at home and just make platforms, and you can kill all the shards with just strike fighters with the Napalm Palom upgrade, of course. But how I would change this to make it more attractive is to remove the mineral costs of bombing platforms completely and make them cost more gas. Let's say they just cost 100% more gas, or even increase this, maybe even like 150% more gas. But then it will be complementary with bio play, like Mira's units and Galleons cost only minerals, and then you, instead of supporting with Horner units, you would support with strike fighters. So it could be a pretty good way of changing this prestige, in my opinion. Okay, so now we have next one is Unconquered Spirit. Now this is the prestige. First of all, Phoenix is the commander I played the least, and this is definitely the prestige I played like maybe 2 or 3 times at most. So I didn't test it properly, but I don't think many other people also play this. We kind of have this prestige network administrator that buffs that heavily actually buffs the champions, but then this thing avenging protocol effectiveness increased by 100%. Okay, if you don't know what it does, let me read it for you. AI champions gain attack and movement speed 10% per supply each time host shells of their type are destroyed, or a 50% speed increase when they transfer into a new host shell. Speed increases can stack up to 100% and last for 20 seconds if not refreshed. So here champions are also buffed, but in this case you kind of want to use them with an army, because when the army dies they also get buffed, but they are also kind of nerfed in the way that they don't get additional life or shields. They have reduced attack range, so here you kind of use them as like banelings or something. But since this already buffed the champion, this is kind of pretty much useless. So but I would do this. I mean, this prestige Kundlar is buffed to the main hero, to Phoenix. This is the buff to champion. So I would do this is I would make this buff to a normal army, and I would let's say like nerf the cost of the army by 30 or even 40%, and completely remove champions. So yeah, champions are pretty important. I mean, pretty strong. So removing them is kind of pretty big thing, pretty hard. But I think this would still be good for example, for carrier play, because I mean, you still wouldn't have Clolarion, but I mean, carriers are kind of tanky, and they have interceptors which tank the damage, so they're not really threatened in most scenarios. So being able to have them earlier due to the reduced cost, or have more of them faster, I think it would be a good thing. So I would rework and conquer Spirit in that way. Okay, so next thing we have Withering Siphon. Withering Siphon is Vorazun's P2. Void Stasis, Confusion, Stasis Ward, Disruption Web, and Dark Oil may affect heroic units and cause enemies to lose 20 life per second. This effect cannot kill, and disadvantages combat units deal 25% reduced damage. Stasis Ward duration reduced by 75%. This is not used so much because, of course, the Keeper of Shadows, the strongest prestige that have shadow guards that deal a lot of damage, and so you'll still play most Dark Templar, Shadow Guard, and the Corsair. But this thing, I would actually make this slightly better by removing this thing that says this effect can kill. So if this effect could kill, I think it would be better. I mean, it definitely would be a better option. Okay, then it is now still not better than Keeper of Shadows in most cases, but okay, it would be more attractive. It would make this prestige more attractive. Okay, so next thing we have Anak Sun. Now, as it is, Anak Sun is can be pretty useful if you fight, like for example, heroes from the storm, to super cloak them, and also like okay. Let me read. Zeratul can deploy the Void Seeker, granting all friendly units in a target area super cloak for 15 seconds. And the disadvantage is Void Seeker can no longer transport Zeratul. So, and also I like to use this on Rifts to Korhal and Sight of Aemon, because you deploy the super cloak and then you project the cannons, so they are protected when they are most vulnerable, while they are projecting, plus a few seconds after they start attacking. But I would still increase the duration. 50% is kind of short. I would like, let's say 20 seconds would be fine. So I would be a little bit buff to this prestige. Okay, next one we have Artificer of Souls. Now, this prestige, that's Alarax P1, Alarax P1 Artificer of Souls, and it says when a supplicant dies, it increases the damage and attack speed of one of Alarax's nearby non-heroic mechanical combat units, and deadly charge and destruction wave damage reduced by 50%. So this is actually prestige for hybrid play, not just robo play. I mean, you can buff stalkers, but I mean, you don't want to go stalkers here. When a supplicant dies, no matter how it dies, so if it's sacrificed, it also buffs robots. So it is for a hybrid play using both ascendants and robo, let's say like 12 ascendants plus the 10 Ratwalkers. I think it's the optimal, and leave the rest of supply for supplicants. So and then whenever supplicant dies, it buffs that ascendants that is sacrificed too, but it also buffs the nearby robo unit. Best is used with together with Ratwalkers, and fully buffed Ratwalkers are really insane. The only thing is they don't get more health, so you have to keep them protected. But I mean, they have a big range, so they always kind of stay at the back. And they do really insane damage, and I've seen some crazy guys like Frost doing this on very hard mutations, like even the old even soloing this on old memorable boss, and also seen Frost doing it on Oblivion Express, and he went against some ridiculous combination of mutators that no normal person would ever go up against. But yeah, this is definitely strong. Very strong prestige, arguably the strongest late game Alarax prestige. But the thing is, of course, if Ascendant play is not nerfed and the Robo play is buffed, then the only thing that they have to nerf as a disadvantage is Alarax, so deadly charge and destruction wave damage reduced by 50%. So early game when you have just Alarak, early game is definitely nerfed. And also the thing is, then if you go both Ascendants and Robo, these are all gas heavy units, and their upgrades also. You have to go for both upgrades for the Robo and for the Ascendant. So yeah, it's really all gas heavy, so it really takes time until you can get an army. So what I would do here is to nerf the cost of the Robo, let's say by maybe 30%. That Robo units are 30% cheaper, and maybe even reduce their production time by, let's say, 20%. So because the Ratwalkers take a long time to produce. Okay, that's the Artificer of Souls, and then we have Nexus Legate. Nexus Legate can also be Nexus Legate can also be used. I mean, it is good on maps like when you don't have to move a lot, like Oblivion Express, Rifts to Korhal, Society of Aemon. You just project there, do what you have to do. Okay, kill the shards, slivers, and then proceed to the next. So yeah, this is the upon use, project power field warps out any of your combat units standing in an existing power field projection into the new location, and cooldown is removed, and project power field instead costs 25 energy. And the whole point of this prestige is that if you have spin increases for warped in units mastery, then when you do this, when you reposition units with using the power field, they will get again this temporary buffs, attack speed, cooldown reduction, energy regeneration, as if they were newly made. But I think it kind of cost is a little bit too much. I would buff this by lowering the cost to let's say like 20 energy. That kind of would be okay. And finally, we have a Rough Rider. That's the Reynolds P2. And the Rough Rider says Ignite Afterburners additionally increases attack speed by 100%, cooldown reduced by 50%, and disadvantages units no longer cost less. Ignite Afterburners costs 10 life and its movement speed bonus is reduced to 50%. So this is also prestige that you want to use when you are in a position warfare, like not when you're pushing. When you're pushing, you either go with bio or go rebel raider with air units. So this is, for example, on Oblivion Express when you wait for trains, so you have tanks positions there, and you can combine it with Vikings. Of course, you need Vikings if you have air composition. So I would rework this. I would disadvantage units no longer cost less. I would remove that because it nerfs the early game. But instead of costing more, I would make this that Ignite Afterburners cost not just 10 life, but let's say like 20 or even 25% of units full health. And if played properly, this wouldn't cause problems, a lot of problems, because you will have a few medics to heal them, and when you ignite afterburners like units, when they get increased speed by 100%, they would kill everything that comes that approaches without taking any or a lot of damage, because of course the increased attack speed, so they could kill enemies faster, and that way, if played properly, it could be really good. But units would not would not cost less. Okay, that's it, guys. Comment, please, what you think about this, or go to the CTG's Discord and yeah, comment there. Leave your opinion, so he has a bigger sample to make his video. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like it, and watch my other videos too.